Has it been hard to reach like new clients or to maintain the old ones since you've come to college or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I just moved from Sarasota here about a month ago. So now I live on campus for the first time.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard because my clients, I don't put them on a subscription kind of
So
model.
it's like
Per contract. So I do contract work. So I do have some clients I'm working with right now, but their budgets are smaller. So it's been hard to be financially sustainable because now I am trying to look for new clients, but I don't really have a presence in Fort Myers, so people are less likely to trust me because I have no referrals down here. So I'm trying to build my network, but it's a struggle, and I'm actively trying to learn how to counteract that.
Would you say it's harder to build more clientele or to maintain your old clientele?
Build more clientele, because I can maintain a clientele, but then again, like with college and with my projects and because I'm graduating, I'm kind of wanting to like take a brief hiatus from my business consultancy because I really just need to like
just take time away
on graduating. And just being a better student because I need to be present for my professors.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's like a very big step in your life going from college to, you know, the real world, especially when you're dual enrollment. We didn't cover that.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was 16 and started my first business, I dropped out of high school, went to Venice High School, did not like it, still don't like it. And it was when COVID happened. My mom had 5 jobs, so she was always gone. I was always alone. I'm an only child too, so I could just do whatever I wanted. So I didn't tell her I dropped out because everything was virtual. How would she know? So then magically, one of my friend's moms reached out to me and said, "Hey, have you heard of like State College of Florida? You can get your associate's degree there." Because I was just gonna finish my like high school diploma on FLVS, Florida Virtual School. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll give it a shot. You know, free AA. No one in my family went to college. Our background's in the circus. We don't really care about education too much. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I got accepted, got my associate's degree, graduated 18. Then I transferred here. So I've only been here. This is like my 2nd year. So I am a bit younger. So that's why I want to stay longer to just find my niche and like
as you should
build more connections.
Would you say growing up with a mom who hustles like that would be?
Yeah.
You think that pays off?
Oh, it definitely pays off because it just shows me that she worked very hard. She's a very successful woman. Like, she paid off her house in 5 years. She's a great mom, but I do not want to work 5 jobs. She hated her life, and I don't want to live a life that I hate. I don't want to be in that circumstance.
So happiness over money.
Yeah, fulfillment over money and power, like financial freedom. So that's why entrepreneurship, business, synergistically, they're very important, and they mean a lot to me in my life because it shows me that financial freedom is like one of the only freedoms you're really ever gonna get in this materialistic world.
But it goes either way.
It does.
In the business world, it's people are money hungry or people are chasing like their dreams.
Absolutely.
And being happy.
Happiness matters more though.
So I guess we could take a pivot and we could talk about your book. So what made you like come up with the idea for your book?
Good question. So this is also like a little bit of a tangent, but it's like the theory of synchronicity or the law of synchronicity. So when I was a kid, I worked at a farmer's market with my grandmother. She sells crepes. We've been there for like 15 years. Some of her clients are really extraordinary people. One of such is actually a local Florida author. And she would always see me like at the crepe stand when I wasn't busy. I just take like paper plates and I would write poems on them. I'd get so bored, and I've always loved reading, so I just come up with like phrases that would rhyme. Maybe when I was like 7. So she basically like watched me grow up, and then when I was like 15, 16, she started to read what I was writing. Like, she was curious, and she's like, "Wow, like you're actually kind of good." I'm like, "Really? I'm just writing random stuff on a plate." She's like, "No, like you should consider publishing a poetry book." And I'm like, "Really? I can do that?" She's like, "Yeah, self-publish. It's cheap, it's affordable, like who knows, you could be successful." So for a whole year, I compiled over 2,000 poems that I wrote, maybe from like, I don't know, 7th grade to like sophomore year of high school. And I'm like, okay, we'll just sift through all this. So I decided to publish my poetry book. Took me like a whole year to do it, my first time. Literally had to type all these handwritten poems. Took me like, oh my god, hours and hours and hours. So I did it. I was successful. I sold 500 books. I had a few book signings. I loved it. It was great. But I didn't market it consistently. I do have a website for it, but I didn't like run any ads for it, and I didn't do any more book signings. I kind of just like took a hiatus from that because of life changes. So I just recently got back into publishing, and I just launched my new poetry book like 3 months ago, and I'm going to do marketing for it now. Some of my peers have already bought it, so I thank you kindly. But all the books kind of have the same theme. It's very personal poetry. A lot of people say they can connect with it. Yeah, that's asterism.
I don't know if you guys can see, but
Thank you.
that is the book. Check it out. It's on Amazon.
And if you're wondering what the heck asterism means, it means basically like a collection of stars that do not make or assemble a constellation. So I relate to that because I love astrophysics, but also because I felt like I'm so many different things. I can't just box myself up and give myself like one defining term that expresses who I am.
Yeah.
So I just felt jumbled in the chaos of the cosmos, I guess. So I call my books like astrophysics related terms. Like my second book is Lucida.
So it's like a metaphor of your brain.
Yeah, I would say.
That's
I
how
love
you,
it.
That's how you view your brain.
Sure, like constellations, it's poetic.
It's it was poetic, but it's also how entrepreneurs usually are.
Right?
Very all over the place, scattered.
Very
but
scattered.
Also very tunnel vision at the same time.
That's why I call it Lucida.
Mm-hmm.
The second book is Lucida. It's the brightest star in a constellation. Like you find your like epiphany. So like that was my epiphany when I realized, okay, like kind of getting a hang of life.
Yeah.
I like it more.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be here. It's tough.
That's good.
Yeah. It's important.
All right, so thank you for sharing about the book and your upcoming books. Guys, check it out. Like I said, it's on Amazon. I guarantee you there's other stuff and links you could probably take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
If you like poetry, I guarantee you it's going to be some of the best poetry you've ever read.
Not the best.
Come on, don't shoot yourself down like that.
I think it's good. It's good for what it is and for how old I was. I mean,
exactly, you got to put everything into consideration.
For being 16, I look back and I'm like,
you're not Edgar Allan Poe.
I use that words.
You're not.
I'm definitely not. No.
But he also wasn't 16 writing poetry.
No, but some people are only recognized for the things they accomplish, like after they're dead, posthumously.
Usually,
you know,
that's usually how it works.
Usually is.
So let's do that before you die. All right, so I guess we'll move away from the book again, since we already pivoted from our original topic back to the book.
Yes.
I guess I do have one more question actually regarding to the book. Was it hard to get any leverage on that book for people, social media to like cover it or see it or?
Surprisingly, no. But
Really?
I've been blessed with a lot of like our connections. One of my grandmother's friends owns like a pet magazine in Sarasota, so she prints like 1,000 copies of her magazine a month just for Sarasota, but she supplies other counties. So she actually like wrote a whole article on me, and I was like on the front of her magazine, and it was cool. And it talked about like my startups. It's okay. And it talked about my startups and my book, and I obviously had a website, and so then the market like took some pictures of my book signing, and they like posted it, and they have like a few thousand followers, so that helped.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it helped with sales for sure. And of course people are like, oh, she's like 16, she's like, I'll buy her book.
Yeah.
But the older you get, the harder it is, because they're like,
no, you have the standards go up and up and up.
yeah, it's like, this isn't a Nobel Prize or
Yeah,
Pulitzer
exactly.
Prize winning book. Not worth the money.
Would you say the sales for the book was more like exponential in the beginning, or did it kind of like pick up towards
Exponential in the beginning.
Yeah, and then
It's
slowly
the hype of something.
Yeah,
But it's also
course.
because like I didn't know what to do with the hype. I was 16, I knew nothing really.
Yeah, you don't even know what's going on. You're just like, oh.
I had no idea. I was like, oh, yay.
Mhm.
Okay, what do I do now? Like, I don't know what to do.
Is the book still making sales today?
Yeah. Like, I actually have, like, on average, 3 to 5 buyers every month. I don't know where they're from.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know who they are. And God bless them.
Somehow it's coming up on on their page.
Somehow.
Good. Keep it like that.
Yeah.
After this amazing publicity, the book will be #1 seller.
Soaring. One day I would like to be, like, a New York best times seller. You know? One day.
This is the start right here.
That'd be cool.
But all right, I guess we can just cover up one more.
Yeah, whatever you
One more
want.
question. I don't know.
Maybe
I guess
advice.
I was gonna say let's end it with some advice for those people out there who are inspired by your story. So, what pointers would you give to someone looking to start something on their own? Just it could be a service or a product or
like their own business specifically.
or it could be even writing a book, like anything. Well, what
If you just
what are tips to get started?
Okay. Tips to get started. Don't think, do it.
Don't think, do it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you want to do your research. You want to like validate if you have a potential customer, but that's why you have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? You need to find your why. Because when I published a poetry book, I didn't need money. I wasn't doing it for money. I was doing it because I loved it. So making a money is just a positive externality of doing what I love. But if you're trying to develop a business to make money, then you need to ask yourself your incentives and your motivations for that. So if you want to just start, do it, but definitely have a clear and concise understanding of why you're starting and what your intent is.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate
it.
all the talk. Money moves, baby.
Money moves.
Stay tuned. Another episode coming soon, hopefully. You never know. It's up to you guys. You guys keep it. You guys keep this episode's moving.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about next time.
Yeah.
I'll interview him.
We might have a
Bonkuzi.
Bonkuzi.
Bonkuzi, bro.
I don't know. Maybe.
Bonkuzi.